Hi students, welcome back to Trekking LinkedIn. I'm Kimber Hill, and in Trekking LinkedIn, this module, we're covering endorsements and recommendations, featured posts and content, and also networking and connections. This lesson is all about featured posts and content. I'm very excited because featured posts is a new feature that LinkedIn is offering. So we're going to have a lot of fun exploring this. And don't worry, I've already got some awesome best practices for you to use in this section of your LinkedIn profile. Course subscribers. Remember, I've got my curriculum here on screen and I'm pulling a lot of this up on screen for you to give you real examples. We have a wealth of resources for our premium course subscribers, and one of them that's important for this lesson is other students' profiles and our network of other students who are going through this program, because in content and featured content, it's very interactive. This is where we're starting to get into that networking and connection space. So content is how you relate to other people on LinkedIn. So we want you to rely on that network of other students who are in this course to get you started. And then we also want you to be comfortable viewing other students' profiles so you can see how they're using content. All right, students, let's get started. So first, I want to say that in these next two videos, this one where we talk about content and the next one where we talk about networking and connections, they're time intensive. It requires you to be active on LinkedIn. So while you are career climbing, while you are career searching, you do need to be very active on LinkedIn. But what I also want to say is that once you land that career or you land that promotion that you're working towards, you don't necessarily have to keep up the pace. So the pace that we are setting in these next two lessons is for someone who is career climbing or trying to find your next career step. Once you're somewhere, you're rooted, you can scale back on how much time and effort you're putting into these areas. But what's very cool about this process is if you never let it die completely, when you're ready to make another career move, leave that job, move to another one, you can slowly turn it back on. All right, so what is content? This is a really great question to get us rolling into the subject matter so you can understand what you're going to be using content for. Content is the post that you share, the information that you're sharing. It is the post populating in your feed, so the posts that your connections are sharing, and so it's streaming into your feed, so you're reading it. It's the post and the content that you engage with, anything that you are sharing, liking, resharing, commenting on. This is content. It can be an article. It can be someone's opinion of the day. It can be a question that someone has posted. It can be a question that you've posted. It can be published by you. It can be published by other LinkedIn users. It can be published by people who are not on LinkedIn, and it's been brought to LinkedIn as a URL to be viewed. All right. So now we have a good conception of what content is. It's information that you and other LinkedIn users are bringing and engaging with on LinkedIn. Let's talk about the kind of content you should be sharing when you are career searching or career climbing. You can share content that you have personally authored. You can also share content written by other leaders in your industry, which I think is very useful. So if you're looking for something in the medical industry, consistently sharing and engaging with content about the medical industry looks good on your profile. Because remember, anything you share or engage with or like on LinkedIn is visible, all right? And a hiring manager is going to put a magnifying glass on that when they're looking at you. So much like other mediums of social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, it's okay to kind of just share something entertaining, share something you thought was funny. On LinkedIn, we're looking to bring industry-related content, career-related content, relevant content to the career and the job search, and know that your future boss, your future manager, your future colleagues are likely going to see what you're sharing. A great rule of thumb is don't share anything political or engage with anything political, personal, or religious. And one huge rule of thumb that I want to impart to you now is to steer clear of divisive content. So I'm going to give you a brief warning. Just like any social media platform can be dangerous, LinkedIn can also be dangerous. And there are people on LinkedIn who use divisive content to trigger other LinkedIn users. So generally, these people are seeking fame. They're seeking an emotional response from other LinkedIn users. They're projecting and putting forth toxic rhetoric in order to feed their likes, clicks, comments. They don't really care how they get there. They just want to get there at any cost. Oftentimes, these people are LinkedIn influencers. And unfortunately, the reality of them on LinkedIn is that they exist. And you can be fooled into engaging in this content. But what I want to warn you about is it's in and of itself, reading a post on any other social media platform like this and engaging with it is not a big deal. But on LinkedIn, it is a little bit of a bigger deal because you don't want to be engaging in a political post or something that has divisive or toxic rhetoric when an employer is looking at your profile and they're going through and looking at what you've been engaging with, what you've been commenting on, liking, and reading your comments, right? We need to stay clear of that. It can be quicksand for you and make you look bad. So beware of the LinkedIn influencers. Featured content is a great new feature that LinkedIn is offering. So once you're in this groove, you understand that you need to be sharing on LinkedIn several times a week. You need to be active on LinkedIn regularly, bringing forth content, engaging with other people's content, especially while you're career searching or career climbing. Once you get in the groove and you've incorporated the LinkedIn app and the LinkedIn desktop version into your everyday life, you kind of continually have it open, checking it, liking, checking in. You can then start to generate a nice feed of content that you've created and shared of yourself. Featured content. This is this new section on your LinkedIn profile. You can see how visual this is. When you hit the plus sign under featured and you start adding posts to the featured content, things that you add can include LinkedIn posts that you've made, articles that you've published on LinkedIn, links to web content, and media from outside sources. So I want you to follow along with this now. If you're listening, grab your app and check the featured section so you can see the things that you can post. So things that I have noticed about this is because it's visual, it seems that the file format GIF looks great in this area. If you take a look at my profile, I have a GIF, or some people call it a GIF. A GIF as the featured image on an article that was written about VertForce and about me for the Huffington Post. And it actually moves on the profile. It is very eye-catching. Another thing that I noticed is that it is also searchable. So things that are showing up in the keywords there that I'm plugging in to my featured post, those words are searchable. And the third thing that we noticed about this is you kind of have limited space on which featured posts are seen first. On the desktop app, and I'm looking at it now and I'm going to show you an example. On the desktop app, even with LinkedIn full screen, you can really only see the first 2 featured posts. So what does that tell us? It means what you put here is important, and your top 2 things that you're sharing in the featured section are going to be the most important things because they are going to get the most visibility. You actually have to click the See All button in order to see anything past those first 2 posts. Okay. So, how should you be using your featured section? If you have an online portfolio, a website, or a professional blog, you need to plug it in here. This can be very useful for employers to see your work, and this is very trendy these days. Career candidates and job seekers are building websites just to showcase things that they've worked on before. So if you have this, do it. If you don't worry, don't feel the pressure to create that. Another option would be major publications you have participated in some way. This could be an article you wrote for a major publication or a scientific journal. This could be an article that mentions you. This could be an article that you were involved in the subject matter in some way. Perhaps you participated in a study and you were included in this study. That's something that you would want to include in your featured section so that you can chat about it with people you're networking with on LinkedIn. And then my secret sauce that I am teaching our course students to do, and our premium subscribers, we've created a separate how-to video for you to do this, is an About Me video. So this is a summary video. It's not a cover letter. It's not a video cover letter, all right? That's different. That's a different educational component of the job process. This is an About Me video. And what we are encouraging our course subscribers to do is to summarize your About section. You know, we spend a lot of time writing those 3 paragraphs that goes in our LinkedIn About section, but not everyone is going to read that. If you take the time to record yourself and discuss your About section very organically, just like you were saying it out loud to a friend, you're going to increase your chances of getting your voice heard, your open cover letter to the world read, right, visually. In this video, we want you to introduce yourself, describe yourself, and go through the sections of your profile explaining your why, explaining what you do, and how you do it uniquely. I love the idea of our career climbers and job seekers posting this to their featured section because it's going to give the viewer of your profile just one step closer into your personality, into who you are, and why you do what you do. So premium course subscribers, remember we have a library of completed LinkedIn profiles to use. We also have a separate video for you discussing the About Me video we're encouraging you to put in your featured content section. And we want you to use our community to start sharing and engaging your content. So remember, as a rule of thumb, when you are career seeking, when you're career climbing, we need you active on LinkedIn several times a week. Again, that pace can scale up or scale down depending on where you are in your career search. So this wraps up our featured content and content lesson of Trekking LinkedIn. In our next lesson, we are going to dive into networking and connections. I'll see you there.